morning students. Chapter 4 Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In today's class we are going to learn about the topic karyotyping. So what is karyotyping means? It is a technique through which a complete set of chromosomes is separated from a cell and the chromosomes are arranged in pairs. So in karyotyping technique, a complete set of chromosomes, that is totally 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in each cell. So this complete set of chromosomes are separated from the cells and the chromosomes are arranged in pairs. And after that, photograph is taken. So an ideogram refers to a diagrammatic representation of chromosomes. So what is an ideogram means? It is a diagrammatic representation of chromosomes. Now we will see the preparation of karyotype. Geo and Levin in the year 1960 described a single method of culturing lymphocytes from the human blood. So the scientists Geo and Levin, so they described a simple method of culturing the lymphocytes from the human blood, and the lymphocytes are induced for mitosis. That is, mitosis is induced and it is followed by the addiction of colchicine to arrest cell division at the metaphase stage. So at first mitosis is induced and after that they are adding the colchicine to arrest the cell division. So cell division is arrested at the metaphase stage, and in that stage the chromosomes, the suitable spread of the metaphase chromosomes is photographed. So the metaphase chromosomes are photographed, and after that the individual chromosomes are cut from that photograph and they are arranged in an orderly fashion in homologous pairs. This arrangement is called as karyotype. So the arrangement, this type of arrangement is called as karyotype. Chromosome banding permits the structural definitions and the differentiation of the chromosomes. So in the preparation of karyotype, so the scientists, they have described a simple method of culturing the lymphocytes from the human blood. At first mitosis is induced in that cell, and after that the enzyme colchicine is added to arrest the cell division at the metaphase stage, and after that the metaphase stage chromosomes are spread and have taken photograph, and after that the individual chromosomes are cut from that photograph and they are arranged in an orderly fashion in the homologous pairs, and this type of arrangement is called as karyotype, and this helps in the structural definition and differentiation of different types of chromosomes. Next we will see about the applications of karyotyping. So in this picture you can able to see the human karyotype of male. So this is the photograph which is taken at the metaphase stage. Here you can able to see the identical chromosomes are kept in pairs. So it is the human karyotype of male. You can able to see the last pair, that is the 23rd pairs of chromosomes, that is the sex chromosomes or the allosomes. So first 22 pairs are called as the autosomes and the last pair is called as the allosome. Thus allosome only determines whether the person is male or female. If it is XX means it is female, and if it is XY means it is male. So here you can able to see the photograph of the homologous pairs of chromosomes. So first the chromosomes are taken photograph, and after that individual chromosomes are cut from that photograph and they are arranged in an orderly fashion in homologous pairs. So this arrangement is in the order from descending to ascending, that is from the large to the small. Next we'll see the applications of karyotyping. What are the applications of karyotyping means? It helps in the gender identification. So with the help of this karyotyping, you can able to identify whether the person is male or female. And it is used to detect the chromosomal aberrations like deletion, duplication, translocation, non-disjunction of chromosomes. So we can able to detect the chromosomal aberrations. Next, it helps to identify the abnormalities of chromosomes like aneuploidy. So what do you mean by aneuploidy means? So failure of chromatids to segregate during cell division resulting in the gain or loss of one or more chromosomes is called as aneuploidy, and it is caused by the non-disjunction of chromosomes. So this condition is called as aneuploidy. So the karyotyping technique is also helps to identify the abnormalities of chromosomes. Then it is also used in predicting the evolutionary relationship between the species. So it helps to predicting the evolutionary relationship between the species. So whether they are related, whether their ancestors are related. So the evolutionary relationship we can able to predict. And genetic disease in human beings can also be detected by this technique. Whether the person is having any genetic abnormalities or diseases, we can able to identify with the help of the karyotyping. So these are the applications of karyotyping. So the applications are, it helps in gender identification. It is used to detect the chromosomal aberrations like deletion, duplication, translocation, non-disjunction of chromosomes. It helps to identify the abnormalities of chromosomes like aneuploidy. It is also used in predicting the evolutionary relationship between the species. And genetic diseases in human beings can also be detected by this technique. Next we will see the human karyotype. So depending upon the position of the centromere and the relative length of the arms. So depending upon the position of the centromere and the length of the two arms, the chromosomes are of three types: metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric. So there are three types of human chromosomes: metacentric, submetacentric and acrocentric, based on the position of the centromere and also based on the length of the two arms. Next we will see about the pedigree analysis. So what is pedigree analysis means? Pedigree means it is a family tree drawn with the genetic symbols showing the inheritance pathway for specific phenotypic characters. So pedigree analysis is the study of traits as they have appeared in a given family line for several past generations. So pedigree means it is a family tree which is drawn with using the genetic symbols, which is showing the inheritance pathway for specific phenotypic characters. Now we will see the pedigree chart. So this is the pedigree chart. Symbols commonly used in pedigree charts. We will see one by one. So the first symbol, it denotes, that is the male. It is the symbol for male. And next is the symbol for female. And next the male and female mating. So this is the symbol for mating. And next is the symbol for parents and children. That is one boy and one girl. That is father, mother, one boy, one girl in order of birth. And next is the dizygotic twins. What do you mean by dizygotic twins? So what is monozygotic twins and what is dizygotic twins? So dizygotic twins, they develop from two separate eggs and two separate sperms. So here it may be either both are male or both are female or both are one male and female. So that is called as dizygotic twins. So Most probably in dizygotic twins, one male and one female. And in monozygotic twins, what is meant by monozygotic twins means when one sperm fertilizes one egg, the fertilized egg undergoes division. It splits into two equal halves and each halves develop into separate embryo. That is called as monozygotic twins. And monozygotic twins are always either whether they are both are male or both are female. There is no chance for one male or female. It will be either both are female or both are male. And this symbol denotes the sex unspecified. And here the number of children of sex indicated. That is male means 2 and female means 3. Next, this symbol it denotes that it is the affected individuals, that is male and female affected, and it is the heterozygotes for autosomal recessive. So this condition, and this is the symbol for carrier of sex-linked recessive. So this symbol denotes the carrier of sex-linked recessives, and this symbol denotes that death, and this symbol denotes the abortion or stillbirth, that is sex unspecified, and it is propositus, that is proband, and this symbol it is the method of identifying persons in a pedigree. Here the propositus in child 2 in generation 2 or second generation. Next is consanguineous marriage, that is blood related marriages. So these are the different symbols used in the pedigree chart. So each symbol denotes a particular condition. Okay students, till this we conclude our topic. Thank you.